Hello, today on the Wanxiety podcast, we have the wonderful Lilly, who is an audio engineer who recently graduated. And I guess this is your story. I'll let you take it away.
Yes. Hi, I'm Lilly. I am an audio engineer. I recently graduated from a music and technology program from Stevens Institute of Technology. Right now, I work with music nonprofits like the Washington Square Music Festival, and I do some event managing.
Nice. What made you go into this field in the first place?
I grew up playing saxophone,
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm like incredibly anxious when it comes to crowds. And I performed a lot, and I really wanted to be behind the scenes in audio. I never made music growing up, and I never did anything technical. I didn't touch hardware or software, anything until I got into college. But I had some great mentors when I was in high school who were like, if you're passionate about music, try to find something that you can reach for and get into. And I found a music and technology program over in Hoboken, New Jersey. And I was like, man, I really think that's the combination of all the things that I want in my career. So that's how I reached into it. Like it was just kind of, I just took a chance on it. I didn't know if I was going to like it, but I do actually really love
Yeah, you seem very passionate about it when I
it.
speak to you. So, how did you go? So, when you were in high school, how did you go about finding these kind of programs to do with audio engineering, music?
Yeah, oh goodness. It was really tough because there aren't a lot of these programs. Like there's one at NYU and one at Carnegie Mellon University, but I wanted to find something where it wasn't a lot of them like still require you to like do performance. And the program that I'm in now, we were required to take like lessons or something, but um I was like I want to do something that's like really really technical. So I just searched like audio engineering programs, music technology programs, and there's not a lot of them. So I found like three. It was just a lot of Googling and a lot of research. And before I went to Stevens, I did hop on a Zoom with some people in the program, and he talked about what their program is about. Like, this is the course structure. And I felt like it fit my needs really well. I think it's easier, it's really easy to find the programs, but there's not a lot of them.
Yeah, I've heard this from other people in audio engineering. Like it's tough to find specific programs. So currently you are working with the Washington Square Park um, Music Festival.
Yes.
Okay, I was like Music Association, Washington Square Association of Music Festival. What does your day look like as an audio engineer working with them?
Yeah. So right now I'm the festival manager for the Washington Square Music Festival, and my day is really busy in June. From like making flyers for concerts. If it's a Tuesday in June, we're rehearsing in the morning, and then we're getting to the park at like 2 to set up, and we're there until very late. Maybe we're partying after, but usually a day to day is just like if I'm working from home and I'm doing like asynchronous stuff, I'm doing flyers for them, or I'm practicing mixing because I really love mixing audio. And if in my free time, that's what I do is I'm like downloading sessions from the internet, and I'm like, how can I make this sound better? And I'm just like perfecting my skills because right now I don't have like a full time 9 to 5, and so while I'm building towards that, I'm trying to make sure that like all of the foundation of my skills are like where I want them to be. So right now I'm doing a lot of practicing and like honing my craft.
But that's awesome because practice makes perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, diving a little bit more into having 9 to 5, full time. I know we spoke a little bit about what it's been like after graduating. Can you delve a little bit more into that? Like, how's it been trying to find roles in this industry?
Yeah, no, it's been incredibly difficult. I'm a first generation college grad.
Oh,
So
that's
I was the first one in my
awesome.
family to graduate.
Congrats.
Fantastic, but it comes with a lot of challenges. My mom had no idea how I was going to tackle the career world after graduation, and I had no idea how I was going to do it either. So because I didn't really have anyone in my family who had been through the experience, I think it made it like I would say 5% more difficult for me. Um, So I started in December applying to things once I finished up all of my my audio requirements for my degree. I started applying to things like constantly. I think by the time the end of May hit, I had applied to 500 jobs.
That's
I had done 500 job
insane.
applications, and I remember I was going through my laptop, and I was just like deleting old cover letters because I had so many. And yeah, my trash at the end of that was full of like 500 cover letters that I had written for each job application. And the success rate on that was horrible. Like I think I got 4 or 5 interviews out of those 500 applications. So we're at like a 1% success rate for that. But you know, like one of the jobs I ended up getting, but it was like it was for events and they only had like one event a month, and it was like here's like 4 hours, and that's not enough to pay rent on. And then you know, I got another interview and they're like, oh, but it's unpaid while we like figure out your skill set. And it's like, oh well, that's also not going to pay rent. So it took me until the beginning of June to finally get like some idea of an offer. But nothing in audio. Like audio is so hard to branch into, and like I had this. I'm not a mentor, but one time I met this person in audio, and I asked like, "What's your one piece of advice?" And he was like, "Eat shit and work for free." And I
Yeah.
feel like having gone through this like trying to find a career process, I don't want to say he was right, but he might have been, which like is very frustrating.
Yeah, I understand. You mentioned that like I know that schools in America, I have to hate to say it, I just find that they are not that the education system itself in
Mm-hmm.
America like needs some work to put it nicely. Um, did was there like any programs that helped you with your resume, like things like that, like get preparing you guys for that transition into like from school to career?
Yeah, I did remember my junior year of college, we had to take this one class. And there's like a week they spend on your resume and your LinkedIn, and they mention a portfolio to you. And the issue with that class was they gave everyone the same resume template, and they said, here you go. And just fill your information, like do this. And I did apply to stuff with that template. And one of the things that I heard from somebody in the industry was, I hate getting all of these resumes that look the exact same on the exact same template. And I was like, oh, okay. So I did learn stuff, I think, but I don't think there was a it was a quality resource for me. Like I didn't learn how to build a portfolio. Like I learned that from one of my other professors just by asking,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing was like really. I feel like there wasn't a lot of quality to everything that I had access to. My senior year, they hired someone on to do a like career resources thing, and I did speak to her, and I had a conversation with this career resources person, and she was like, "I think you're doing everything right." And I'm like, okay, so what else can I do? And she's like, you can message people and like see if they had jobs. And like that was really tough because like, yeah, I'm doing all these job applications, but now I need to like cold call and like email and message people who I don't know and try to see if they have anything. And I have tried the cold calling thing and nobody has responded to me ever.
I just don't think people answer the phone anymore, to be honest with you.
Well, not even just phone, but like email and messaging on LinkedIn and DMing on Instagram. It's like no one wants to talk to somebody they don't know about their career.
Yeah. Well, this is why I created this
Yes,
podcast,
exactly.
to be honest with you, to help others that want to learn more. So Washington Square Park Music Festival is on right now. I know you just had the first
Yes.
concert. Can you talk about a little bit more about the awesome upcoming shows?
Yes, so we have a really exciting program for the Washington Square Music Festival this year. Last week, we kicked off the season with a really wonderful singer-songwriter accompanied by our chamber orchestra. Her name is Lau Noah, and soon there'll be some videos up for that performance, so check those out when that comes around. But next week, on Tuesday at 8 p.m., we have Zohar and Adam. They're a experimental Latin and world music group. They're a really awesome duo, and they're coming on with a few guest artists. And then our back to our basic classical music is the week after on the 17th. And then to close us off, the 24th, we have a really exciting like Latin music, Latin jazz to close out the festival, and that'll be a great dancing one because we like to have at least one show that's really great for dancing and getting up and connecting with the community. So that's our exciting program for this year.
Yeah, I remember the one last year. I think it was like, I don't remember the name, like they're quite a big...
Los Rancheros.
Yeah. Los Rancheros?
Los Rancheros.
Yeah, they're like huge.
Oh, they're amazing.
But there were so many people like up dancing. I was like, I want to dance.
Yes, one of our big things, like I think our biggest thing is making like music that's not normally accessible to the community, and it's free and it's for everybody. And it's like so amazing, and it feels so rewarding to just see people enjoying it like so heavily, like at the Latin music concerts. So I'm really excited this year we get to close out with Latin and not jazz.
Yeah, I want to be that.
You should be
What
better.
are the I know, and you do organize other events, right? There's other events that happen in Washington Square Park, like other concerts throughout the year.
We have another concert in December. It's our winter concert, and usually we do that at St. Mark's. I think don't quote me on that. I think it's that church. But sometimes I help out with some other events, but the music festival just has 5 concerts a year.
I see. And they are all awesome, and everybody should check them out.
And they're free.
Going back to when you were researching programs for school, what were the things that you were specifically looking for in a program, and what kind of advice would you give to somebody that's looking into these programs?
My big thing was that I've always been very anxious when it comes to music. Like I used to love like just playing. Like I didn't like performing, and I didn't like sharing my own music. So my biggest thing was I wanted to engineer for other people. I didn't want to engineer for myself or produce for myself. So when I was looking for programs, I was looking for something that was extremely technical and like all audio engineering and less composition and writing and producing. So that was a big thing for me because I like working behind the scenes. I don't like being the face of a product. That has changed in my college experience, though, I will say. But when I was looking, like, that was my big thing, was I didn't want to be the front man and front woman. And so I was researching places that didn't heavily lean into composition and didn't heavily lean into performance, because a lot of places, like even like NYU, they want you to audition to be in their program, and they want you to show that you've like made and like released a bunch of your own work. So the nice thing about Stevens was I didn't have to show like pieces that I had released or had made. Like I just uploaded some like fun things that I've done that I enjoyed, and some pieces I've performed on. And so that was a big thing for me, was to like lessen my anxiety in the process. Like I just didn't want to perform. I didn't want to be the face of it. Of course, I do think they did sneak things into the curriculum because they want you to be a well-rounded audio engineer, and that, you know, includes all aspects of the industry. So that has changed a little bit, having been exposed to these things. Like for my thesis, I released an album.
That's amazing.
Which was crazy because I never thought that I would be able to do that. But I think like taking a back seat and working on other people's music allowed me to like be inspired. So when I was looking, yeah, I did want to be in the behind the scenes and stay behind the scenes. I still lean towards that, but I do like having some fun little things that I release on the side.
That's awesome. And I mean, so talking about actually anxiety, because you mentioned that a couple of times, that you have anxiety about like, so believe me, I have the worst stage fright.
Yes.
Like, I cannot like, and with like job seeking and stuff, so there must be like some work anxiety. How do you manage that? Like, is there anything you do specifically to like keep you grounded, keep you motivated?
Yes. I'm a huge advocate for therapy, and if you find a medication that works for you, you do that. That's one of my things. But I have like really awful imposter syndrome in this industry. Like, you work with so many talented individuals that it's like, oh my goodness, like, am I ever gonna like get to that point? So a lot of it is just like I just fake it sometimes. Like, I might not feel confident one day, but if I act confident, everyone's gonna think I am, and they're gonna believe like so much more of what I say. So I get through a lot of it just by like, sometimes you just gotta like put it put on that happy face and like go for it. Um, so I never thought I would say fake it till you make it, but that's what I've done, and it's worked really well. So yeah, like I manage a lot of my anxieties at home before the day too. Like I get up in the morning, I take my time, I hang out with my cats. If I like push through it during the day when I'm working, and then I can decompress at night, and then in the morning I wake up with time to really ready myself, I feel like I can get through it. And especially with now looking for jobs and doing these interviews, um, do a lot of studying before. That helps with anxiety, but also, yeah, just like faking confidence constantly.
I understand. I have the most imposter syndrome. It's hard.
Yes.
Somebody was telling me the other day that like imposter syndrome comes from us, like, you know how we have like this dark shadow of all these things that we're like afraid of and about ourselves. It's because when we have imposter syndrome or like negative, it's because we're living in that dark shadow of ourselves. So I was like, I'm gonna think it and just live in my highest self at all times now.
You got to.
You have to. I like. What are we supposed to do otherwise? Right? Like
Yeah.
we're all so anxious nowadays. I guess there's one final question. What is like your dream role?
My dream role. I really, I have ever since I started um, mixing. I have always wanted to be a mixing engineer. I would love to do it in like a big studio, but I also love being at home. So freelance or in a studio, I just really like the nuances of mixing audio and taking what is baseline amazing and bringing it to its full potential. I really just like the transformation aspect of that. I have fiddled with live sound, and I do like live mixing, but I really just like helping artists take something that's like rough cut and make it into something that's like perfection. So yeah, I really, really want to get into a mixing engineer role. Um, so whether that's now or like 5 years down the line, hopefully not more than that. But that's like my end goal right now is I just want to be like a grumpy old audio engineer in my office, like twiddling with audio things. That's where I want to be.
You're gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
I really hope
Less
so.
than a year. I'm telling
Less than
you.
a year?
Yes.
Okay. You know
Very
what?
soon. It's gonna happen.
Here's the imposter syndrome talking.
It's gonna happen. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yes.
It's gonna help a lot of other people going through the same thing. And everybody go check out the Washington Square Park Music Festival. It's on for the next 3 weeks. Last show was June 24th, I think.
Yes, the last show is June 24th this year.
Check it out, and yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me.